bringing you all some coverage for SPL, also known as Smogon Premier League. So, I basically wanted to, give my reactions about the games for SPL. So, I'm not going to do, all of them. I'll just probably do, a select few that I thought were interesting, or just some that I haven't actually seen yet that I still think are going to be interesting to look at just based on team preview and whatnot. But yeah, so the first one I'm going to be talking about is going to be for ORAS. Now, when it comes to ORAS and my knowledge about ORAS, it's about, I'd say 50-50. I know some stuff. I know the best mons in the tier and whatnot, but I don't really know how the current metagame is, or at least how the current tournament format is right now for ORAS. But I'm still interested to see where it goes. So yeah. So for this match, we're gonna be looking at Persephone versus Luigi. I think Luigi had another name. I forgot. I know I've played him before though at one point in a tour, but I'm trying to remember what his other name was. I think it was Sue something. I know it started with a Sue, or no, it started with an S. But yeah, he goes by Luigi. So yeah. Before we get started with this, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for some more Pokemon Showdown content, as well as the other content I do on my channel, such as Let's Plays and whatnot. So yeah, on my way to hitting my sub goal soon of 450. So let's just keep that momentum going. And if y'all want to see some more tournament content too, because I will be doing tournament content like this, in the as long as SPL is still going on and whatnot. But yeah, let's get it started. So, again, I know both these players, or at least I'm familiar with both these players, Luigi and Persephone. I played Persephone one time, I think, it was either in Smogon Tour, or it was some ORAS tournament, but I remember playing him at some point. Actually, no, it might have been him or Perish Song. I don't remember which one, but yeah, he's a pretty good player. So I'm definitely excited to see how both these games go. And let's just do it, shall we? Alright. So, as long as it goes... Okay, there we go. So, turn 1, we have T-Tar versus Tornadus. So, T-Tar and ORAS can do a couple things, if I recall. You can make it Scarf, you can make it, AV, you can make it Bandit. There's a lot of things Tar can do. It could be a rocker as well for this team. Now, based on Persephone's team... just making predictions on what it could be. I feel like this Tar might be a rocker. Drill has potential to be a rocker too. It can be like an SD rocking set, but the way this team is built, I feel like Drill has to be a spinner, so it probably wouldn't be rocks on this. So I think Tar being rocks would make a little bit more sense. So probably either some utility Tar, with rocks, maybe Chopple could be, but I don't think Chopple is really that common back in ORAS. Only because, I mean, it was good for stuff like Megazam, but Megazam wasn't as prominent as it was during the ORAS metagame because of the speed boost and whatnot. But or the speed boost not being activated on turn 1 like it is in Sun and Moon and after. So yeah, I don't know if it'd be Chopple on this, but if it is, I mean that's still pretty good coverage anyway. Because I also can cover the Tornadus being potentially being superpower and whatnot. But yeah, let's see what happens here. So turn 1, we see a superpower come up, and it is Chopple. Wow, look at that, look at that, and it is rocks. So I actually got that. So cool. So rocks are down. Torn can go for power again, but instead Luigi switches out and goes for the U-turn. So Rotom's going to take some chip from that, and also reveals to be Rocky Helmet too. So we learned quite a bit from this exchange. We know that this Tar was Chopple, and it also got rocks down, and we know that the Tornadus seems to be some kind of mixed variant. No, Life Orb wasn't shown, so definitely seems to be some kind of It could be AV. AV turn was pretty common back in this metagame too, since you were able to take on practically every special hit. So it was a very good pivoting mon in that metagame, or in this metagame. And as you see Rotom versus Tangrowth now, so definitely I think Persephone's gonna want to switch here and probably go into Serp, or even go into Torn. And instead he goes Altaria, so I'm definitely wrong. So he's gonna go Altaria to take the sleep. Now, Altaria does carry natural cure before it mega evolves, so he can just have this as a sleep fodder if he wants. But also Luigi can go for sleep powder again since natural cure does activate on the switch. So if he goes for it again, then while Persephone has a couple options, he could actually go into Serp or he could go back into Rotom on potential sleep powder or potential sludge bomb. Or he could go back into Tar too, but Tar doesn't really do much now. So yeah, I definitely think that Persephone's probably just gonna stay in here for a little bit just to see what else Tangrowth does, or again just switch into Serperior. But I feel like the Serp play is a little too crazy to make. So I think maybe that or Torn makes a little bit more sense. Let's see what happens here. But so far, okay, so he does switch. Serp comes in, and he gets the switch into Drill. Okay. So Luigi switches into Drill, which is good. He probably wants to remove the rocks right now because his team is very rock weak. You got Vic, Gyarados, and Torn getting messed up by rocks. Even Tangrowth not really appreciating it since he needs to take physical hits. And the way how Persephone's team is built, it's more specially oriented, so this Tangrowth isn't really going to be staying around for that long, besides just taking on Drill and taking on Tar. And if the Altaria is like a special attacking one, which I don't think it is since he switched out, I do think that that Persephone's in a pretty good spot right now. So let's see what happens here. What will Persephone do? Okay, so Spin comes out, and the Drill's faster. Okay, so this must be Sandforce then. Or not Sandforce, Sandrush Drill. Okay. So, because the only way Drill can outspeed Serperior in this sense is only if it's Sandrush. So yeah. So Drill's gonna get paralyzed, which is good for Persephone, but goes for Glare again. And lefties is still shown, or no lefties are shown on Serperior, so that's interesting. And for Glare twice, so I'm assuming that he was trying to catch a switch in, so that's why he made the Glare play there. But yeah, we see. Okay, so Serperior goes for it again. So I think the Serperior might be Scarf, which is actually really, really nasty in a game like this. Because again, this team does not really take Serperior on that well. Because once rocks go down, and Serp gets a Leaf Storm going, Serp's gonna be very dangerous. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so it's not. It's actually not Scarf. So good to know. U-turn comes out doing a bit of chip. Vic comes in though, so Vic is going to show itself. U-turn again. Okay, so that's Scarf Victini. Torrent's back again. And it's Rest? Oh, that's Heat! Okay, I like that little tech. That's a nice little tech right there. That's Serperior. It might be like... That's interesting. Could it be Sleep Talk? I don't think Sleep Talk would make sense though. I mean, it could. It could be. But I feel like you'd have better odds running like HP Fire with this, or even HP Ice. Granted, I think HP Fire is a lot better since you cover the steals a lot more effectively. But that's interesting. That's very interesting. So Leaf Storm again. Okay, 25%, and another one, and Heat Wave miss. That's really, really gonna suck for Luigi. Another Leaf Storm coming out. So now Serp is at +6, and another Para. Oh, this is, and the Torn died. Torn dies. Vic comes in. It has to go for Recreate. Switches out on the Rotom on the V-Create. And, oh no, okay, Luigi wants the momentum instead. So, getting momentum back, Gyarados comes in. Okay, switching into Tangrowth there on the Volt Switch play. So, Luigi's trying to get momentum back. Again, that Leaf Storm, and also the Para definitely messed up Luigi. So, yeah, this is really, really bad for Luigi at the moment. But right now, Persephone is living his best life. So, we see the Drill come out. Potential Sleep Powder, or wait, no, not Sleep Powder, my bad, on the switch out. So Rhapsody going to come out, going to show the Rocky Helmet chip there, and Sunspore, so Drill's now paralyzed. Serp comes in now on the following HP Fire. Okay, so HP Fire comes out, but this is very free, honestly, unless this is Sledge Bomb, which it's not. So, it can't be Sledge Bomb, it's double status with Sleep Powder, Stun, HP Fire, and maybe Giga Drain. Should be Giga Drain for the recovery. You know, you want to be able to hit like the waters and whatnot. Deal with Rotom too. Granted, it didn't really deal with it since it kind of got messed up by it anyway. And it's more physically defensive anyway. So yeah, this Tangrowth is going to get messed up. Glare on the switch. Yo, okay, that's kind of nice. Hold on, I like that. U-turn there to get more chip. Okay. So there it goes. Tar comes in here. Guessing they go for a U-turn here to get some more chip on this. Oh, Taunt to prevent rocks. Okay, I see. So it's just Stone Edging, and it dies. So there goes Torn. Torn dies there. But now Rotom gets a free switch. It's a Volt Switch into Drill. Okay, Volt Switch into Drill on the Stone Mist. Okay, the momentum is kind of shifting a little bit right now. Toxic missed his ass. He was probably trying to catch that Tangrowth. That's unfortunate for him. Taunt gets worn off. Tangrowth comes in. Will he get the Toxic again? No, he goes for Quake this time. Okay, so Personal goes for Quake and expecting the Tar to stay in, but doesn't. Tangrowth's going to get some recovery back with that Giga Drain, so Giga Drain is revealed. Tar comes back in on the HP Fire, so rocks are going to go back up, which is what Persephone wants right now to mess up Gyarados, and mess up the Vic. Okay, so Drill's going to come in, Serperior going to come down, and that is a dead-ass Drill. So Drill goes down, and now the momentum has shifted right back into Persephone. So now he can't spin, and at this point, Luigi can't really do a whole lot besides go Gyarados and try to commit to a DD sweep, which I think he can afford to do since Rotom's already chipped. But the thing about Gyarados in ORAS is that Gyarados doesn't have Crunch. It doesn't have any Dark Stab. If I recall, the best Dark Stab that Gyarados has is, I think, Crunch. I mean, not Crunch. I think it's Bite, unless I'm wrong. I don't think. Oh wait, no. Okay, it did get Crunch in this gen. My bad. I thought it got it in Gen 7. Okay. Yeah, I thought it got Crunch in Gen 7. Okay, my bad, people. I didn't mean to confuse you guys, but okay. So my bad. That's a different game I wanted to show. Okay, so Gyarados gets a free switch, and he can just DD right now. So Luigi is definitely still in a decent spot, but it all depends on what else I guess like how bulky the Altaria is, and also if this has Ice Fang. So let's see. Mega Evolve, Waterfall. He's trying to go for a flinch. Does he get it? He does get it. Oh, okay. Hold on. Quake. Oh, it just barely lived, and there goes the Gyarados. Oh, shit. Tar coming in here. Sand's not going to affect it, though, unless I'm wrong. Yeah, Sand's not going to affect it until the next turn, but he can recover here if he has it. Nope. Okay, so no recovery. There goes the Altaria. But now it's looking pretty much over at this point. Because Victini's paralyzed, Tangrowth can't do anything, and Tar is dead. So pretty much, Serp is gonna sweep right now. Yeah, rest in there to make sure that he gets back to full, and pretty much to sell out the rest for a little bit. So yeah, one more turn, and it will be able to wake up and then be able to kill this with HP Fire, or just leave Storm here. Oh wait, no, I'm wrong. It's the following turn. My bad. I don't know why. I probably was thinking like maybe GSC, or I probably was thinking GSC that it would just wake up on that turn, but my fault, people. But yeah, it doesn't wake up on that fault. It had to wake up on the third turn, so my fault. This is still okay. Actually, no. It still looks winnable though, because Tango doesn't take Volt Switch very well. It's not going to take it. So yeah, Victini has to come in here, and wait, HP Ice. Oh, I fuck with that. That's cool. That's real cool. Okay. Still doesn't matter though since Vic's dead, practically. Yeah. Okay. So Tar can come in here, get stand up, and this pretty much I think solidifies the game. Yeah. Final gambit to die, and Tangrowth coming in here. What if this is Mix? No, it's not Mix. Rock Tomb though gonna do a little bit of damage, not too much. Sleep Powder Mist is gonna be kind of ass for Luigi, but one more hit should take this out. Yeah. And Sleep Powder, and there it goes. So Sam will take this out, and all that's left is Tar, but Tar is not going to be able to take on the likes of opposing Tar. Tar dies anyway, but he's not going to be able to take on Rotom. And that's pretty much going to be GG now. So, very, very cool game to see. No lie, that was very fun to watch. But yeah, Drill in here to die to Superpower, and revealing that this pretty much was like a banned Tar. So yeah. That's going to be that, and that is going to be the first game. But yeah, that was really fun. That was really fun to watch. The Serperior was really cool. I had no idea you could run like a rest set with this and actually get momentum going with it. Some very cool text from Persephone. I like the 3 attacking Rotom. Very nice. And the Chople Tar was pretty cool too. Definitely put in a lot of momentum for him, and pretty much like got him what he needed. So yeah, and also, he got pretty lucky with Serperior too, but Serperior just has like such a good matchup, and it had such a good matchup in general that pretty much going for the Glare to solidify, the slow mons or the fast mons being paralyzed, pretty much put him up, pretty much put him at at a much more advantageous position. So, good game, very fun game to watch, and yeah, I do think though that if Gyarados got that roll and was able to kill Altaria, I think this would have been Luigi's match. I definitely think it would have been his game. Seriously, I thought this mon didn't get crunch in this gen. Oh wait, I'm thinking of X and Y. In X and Y, Gyarados didn't get crunch. It got crunch in ORAS. My bad about that. Yeah, this was fun though. It was very fun to watch. So hope y'all enjoyed this game. We're gonna move on to one more game, and then that's pretty much gonna cover one of my uploads for Olgens for this week. So, because I mean, I'm gonna be pretty busy this week since I'm gonna be starting my new job. So I just wanted to try and get this out as early as I can for you all. So you guys should be seeing this tomorrow. But yeah, so game 2, we got Splash versus Santu. I don't know any of these players. Well, actually, no. I think I've heard of Splash before. I think he might have been in a tour I was in. I don't remember which tour, but I do remember seeing his name somewhere around. It might have been for PPL. It might have been for Pokemon Premier League. It might have been for that, but I know I've seen his name around somewhere. But yeah, so this is gonna be pretty fun to see. Looking at the matchups, we got Mega Diancie versus Megalodius. So Mega Diancie versus Megalodius. Volcanion looks very threatening to Santu's team, so I wonder how he's going to play around that. Granted, no, he's got Latias. Latias can handle that very easily, since his Calm Mind's up on it. Weavile, though. Ooh, Weavile's going to be really nice for Splash, breaking through a lot of this defensive core. Granted, it depends on the Slowbro, too, being like a Cobra set, if it is. Which I don't know if Cobra actually was a thing in ORAS. I don't believe it was, but I'm pretty sure it had to be since Weavile was very, very good in ORAS. Because it was a really good pursuit trapper, and pretty much just claimed kills with knockoff as well. So it's gonna be very good here. It's gonna be very, very good just by looking at this matchup. Now for Santu though, for Santu's side, I definitely think that this is actually gonna be tough. This is tough for Santu. I don't know how he's going to get around it. That Weavile is going to be a pain in the ass. I think it's possible, though. I do. But, again, Weavile is going to be a pain. He might be able to do it with the combination of Lottie plus Clef. Maybe. Like, he needs the Drill Gone, which he can do that with potentially, with Pharaoh potentially, Slowbro, and even with Chomp. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be really fun to see. So let's see how this goes. Oh yeah, by the way, I should have mentioned the song I have in the background, but I got the whole... I mean, I always do this every time I do tournament games, but I always have, gotta have the Yu Yu Hakusho in the background, It just fits the mood. It just fits the mood. Anyway, Santu versus Splash. Let's see how this goes. So we have a Diancie lead from Splash and a Slowbro lead from Santu. So what does this mean? I don't fucking know. Well, it could mean that... I don't know. Actually, no. Santu's pretty free to just Scald if he wants to. Diancie can do a lot of things, if I recall. But if I remember from ORAS, this mon likes to run Protect a lot to actually get the speed boost going. So it probably is going to just Protect first. But yeah. Santu doesn't have a good switch-in for Diancie besides maybe Ferrothorn, but... Diancie carries HP Fire a lot to cover for Ferrothorn and other steals. So I don't know if that's a very safe play for him. I think he's forced to stay in here with Slowbro. Unless this is like an AV Torn, but Diancie also carries Diamond Storm. So he's going to just play this smart with Bro and just see what happens. So let's see. Yep, Tech turn 1, and we see a Scald, of course. So Scald's going to be shown there. I'm going to go for the Rotom switch on the following Scald. So Santu gets a Scald and no burn. So it's going to be a very cold Scald there. Volswitch going to come and do a lot of damage to Bro. Going to go Volcanion on the next Scald, but Santu goes for T-Wave on the Volcanion switch. That's very good for Santu. He was able to get that off. So he got chipped pretty heavily by Rotom, but at least he got some momentum going with the T-Wave. So with the T-Wave coming down, this does make Santu's job a little bit easier in handling this. Because again, the combination of Volcanion, Weavile, and Diancie is very, very good. Like very good. One thing I have to note about Volcanion is that like when it came to ORAS, I don't remember seeing this mon that much, if at all. Like I don't think that mon really got much play in ORAS. But Fire Water is such a good offensive typing, even defensively too. It's just so good when you pair it with Water Absorb. Like this is such a very nicely compacted team. A very nicely built team. But yeah, so Slowbro's gonna get some recovery back. So we see that Clef's gonna come in here on the para. So that's gonna be a paralyzed Volcanion. Drill gonna come in here on the Calm Mind. Okay, so this is a Calm Mind Clef. Good to know. Calm Mind Clef definitely is a threat here. It can definitely be pretty threatening. Especially now Volcanion can't really break this that well. I mean, if it's Specs, it's still gonna do a lot too. But he can still take the hit. Or I mean, Clef can still take the hit and still be able to Calm Mind and softball it up. So yeah, let's see. So Drill gonna come in here. He's gonna be forced to switch and go Ferrothorn or Chomp. Yep. So Chomp gonna come in here, take the Iron Hit. It's gonna do very little damage. So that is a very bulky Chomp. Okay, so bulk Chomp on this. So a very defensive team, just based on this, or just based on seeing that. So Helmet Chomp paired with the Iron Barb Ferrothorn, maybe potentially like double Iron Barb, but or double Rocky Helmet, but I doubt that. I definitely think this is going to be like more Spadef invested. So, but then again, he brought Clef in on Volcanion, so it might be more. This might be more specially oriented one, most likely. I'm assuming that it might be, but but yeah. So Drill's going to be forced to switch out on Rocks or even on like Toxic or something. Yeah, Rocks are going to come down. So cool. We see the switch into Clef there on the burn. So Clef's going to get burned, which is fine. Clef doesn't really mind getting burned anyway. Volt Switch going to come back out. And we see that Volt Switch did no damage. So that definitely seems to be a more defensively oriented Clef. It could be more specially oriented. I'm believing it is. Again, the way how you brought Clef in on Volcanion definitely suggests that. So we see Drill coming back in to try and Iron Hit again or spin. I definitely think he wants to spin. But, okay. So he goes for the Volt Switch. So turn 9, Volt Switch comes out, and Santi makes a prediction into Drill. Okay, so Drill's going to get chipped by Flamethrower. Not going to do too much damage, but definitely enough to warrant him to want to switch, or want to attack or just, switch. But yeah, Drill dying is bad. That's very bad for Santu. So now that he lost his Drill, he lost his way of spinning, which means that boom, 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 these mons are going to get fucked by Rocks, and he has no way of removing it now. So, because in Gen 6, there's actually very limited defoggers. Like Tornadus didn't get defog until Gen 7. Same with Rotom, if I recall. Same with Rotom. Yeah, Rotom didn't get defog until Gen 7. So yeah, this team. So yeah, pretty much like his only way of hazard removal was Drill in this case. But yeah, no Drill means this team's gonna get fucked by Clef. So Diancie comes in here on Diamond Storm, and that does a shit ton of damage. So Diancie gets a defense boost, but yeah, that's doing a lot. So definitely, this Clef is not physically defensive at all. It is not taking that hit, or it did not take that very well. And in Splashes, Diancie could be more physically oriented, potentially, but definitely think Mix was one of the better options since you actually wanted to be able to switch up your stab, or switch up your attacks and whatnot. So yeah, he's gonna keep going for it until he gets a crit or something, or at least until the Clef gets worn down enough. But yeah, he has to actually land too. So Diamond Storm gonna come out again, as Splash goes for Moonblast on the switch. So we see a Moonblast on the oncoming switch. Slowbro comes in here. He's gonna scout for HP Fire, and he goes for Tech instead. So maybe Splash doesn't have HP Fire after seeing that, which could be the case. It's possible. I don't think Diancie had Earth Power in this format, if I recall. I could check real quick, but I'm pretty sure it didn't have it. Let me just check Mega Diancie. Oh wait, hold on. I could just check right here on one of the teams I have. Yeah, right here. Let's see. I don't think it had it. I don't think it had Earth. Okay, no, it did have Earth Power. Never mind. Huh? I didn't know it got. So it must have got Earth Power from Move Tutors then in Gen 6. Okay, didn't know. I mean, it should make sense since this is where it got its Mega Form in ORAS anyway. But yeah, so let's see what happens here. We see another Tech as Splash is going to Tech on the Scald. Okay, so Slowbro's going to keep going for Scald. Again, Slowbro's putting in quite a lot of offensive pressure right now. So we see a Scald coming out again. And all Splash can really do is just go for Volt Switch. And also that Burn's really going to hurt. So now everyone's going to get chipped by Burn plus Rocks. Clef's going to come in here on the Volt Switch. And now all he can really do is go to the ante again and try and go for another like Diamond Storm crit or whatnot. Because that seems like his only way of offensively pressuring this. Latias comes in here on the Moonblast actually. Oh, my bad. Let me stop myself real quick. He went for Moonblast on the switch. Okay, that's fine. That's definitely fine. So Latias is going to get chipped pretty heavily by that. Going to Mega Evolve here. And Serperior going to come out as he's going to sack Latias. So that's fine. So Latias is going to go down. So Latias goes down there. Slowbro's going to come back in, and now Slowbro can put some more offensive pressure. Going to go for a tech here to waste more Skull PP. So again, 5 are down now. But again, this Rotom is not a very good switch-in at the moment. Again, it's being chipped by Skull plus the burn damage, and that burn damage is not really helping him. And Clef's going to come in here too to get more momentum back. And yeah, this is really looking tough for Splash right now. But Santu's getting all the momentum at this moment, so he could just go for Soft Void or even just go for a Moonblast if he wants to. So he is going to Soft again, and Clef is in here on the Weavile. Now we do know that this Clef is specially defensive, so it is not going to take Crash very well, but I mean it will still take the hit. And if Clef does get flinched, then Clef is potentially dead here. But if Splash is able to actually land and flinch it, then again Clef will get messed up pretty badly here. But if not, then Clef's going to be on a very fantastic spot here because this Mon is going to go crazy soon. So let's see what happens here. Splash is going to land Crash. It does 57%, and no flinch. Weavile dies, and this is where the game goes very, very south for Splash. Dancy comes in here. Ferrothorn comes in on the switch to Diamond Storm again, or Moonblast, which is still doing a decent chunk anyway. So Moonblast doing the chip it needs. And we do see another one, so again, he's trying to, like... So I guess now Santo has to do so he doesn't have HP Fire. So he's going to take his kill, and Dancy goes down. That's very, very bad, again, for Splash. But again, looking at the position he's in, he can't really do a whole lot. I mean, I guess he could have switched and gone into, like, Torn or even gone into Volcanion, but Volcanion's going to be... It's going to be slower because of Para. In case you didn't know, I believe the change was made in Gen 6, but Paralysis is cut by... Or, I mean, Paralysis is still, like, 75, if I recall. So Volcanion is actually slower than Ferrothorn because of the Para. Again, I could be wrong. I believe that change was made in Gen 7, though. But, where it's actually 50, where the speed is cut by 50. But I think it's still 75 for this gen. Again, I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember like the mechanics and everything about which one does which and whatnot, but I do think that Volcanion is pretty much slower than everything here. I think even slower than Ferrothorn. But yeah, Torn is basically gonna have to go for Heat Wave or go for Hurricane or whatnot. Hurricane does come out, and that Garchomp is gonna get messed up by it. Does take it pretty well though, but yeah, HPS is gonna knock out the Garchomp. So Garchomp goes down. Slowbro's in here now. And let's see what happens here. Going to go for a U-turn here to get some chip. And going to bring in the Volcanion now on the Skull, potentially. Or T-Wave, yep. So, okay, so now looking at this. Volcanion's still pretty good here, you know. It's still not bad. Specs Steam Eruption, if this is Specs, is still going to do a lot of damage to him. Like, Slowbro's not going to appreciate it very well. But the thing is that Slowbro can still recover on it, though. But... because of the burn chances in this gen, where it's actually 12%, or the burn chip, which is 12% in this gen, Volcanion can still pressure through Slowbro. So let's see what happens here. And it's lefties, never mind. So forget what I said. It's not Specs. So this not being Specs definitely sucks, but this is still gonna do a lot potentially. Yeah, it's still gonna do a lot to it. The turn's still gonna get messed up. Knockoff gonna come out. So Volcanion now lost its form of recovery. But Steam Eruption will land and will take out Torn. But at this point, this Clef is dangerous right now. So yeah, Torrent's going to come in here on the recover. On the recover there. And honestly, it's looking rough, man. It's looking very rough. Going to go for Hurricane there on Bro. Bro going to get chipped pretty heavily by that, but not enough for it to die. I feel like he should have went for it again, but like at this, because I mean, he's kind of in a position where he should just be going for the risk, but like, I don't know. I mean, 43, 45, and it was at 49. I don't know. I feel like I'm not going to... Yeah, actually, no. 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 I don't know. That's just tough to make that call, though. I think he still could have went for it, though. I do think he could have went for it, but Maybe he was afraid that he'd miss there and he'd get paralyzed. Maybe that's why he did it. So you'd rather just go for momentum instead. I feel that. But yeah, recovery there. So Slowbro's going to get back to full, or almost full practically. But at this point, he doesn't really have, again, too many switch-ins besides just going for Volt Switch there to get momentum again. So Volcanian's back in, or Torn can come back in too. So Torn back in. Kane can kill, but he missed. So there goes that. T-Wave coming off, and Torn is now dead. So Torn dies, or is basically dead at this point. Hurricane still going to come, or Hurricane not going to come through because of the para. And yeah, Slowbro's back in. It was AV, by the way, so it was AV Torn. Hurricane going to come in, do 43. Gets a confusion though, so you might be able to get another one. He does get a, okay, so it does hit itself, and it's still not going to be enough though. He needs it to hit itself again. But no, it doesn't. Ice Beam comes out. Torn lives it. Gets the knockoff off, so there goes Slowbro. So Slowbro goes down. So Torn still has some life left. It still does, but not a whole lot, because that's going to knock out Torn. So Torn goes down. Rotom's back in. But at this point, this Clef is free to just Calm Mind right now. But he's going to choose to just go back into Fairthorn instead. So Rotom's going to get some recovery back. Get a little bit of recovery back. Again, not too much from that. Going to go for a burn and misses there. There goes the Power Whip. Rotom dies. And at this point, it's all Volcanion versus Clef, and that's not really going to be a good way for, not really going to be that great. But yeah, so I was right, my bad. So I was right about the speed, being like 75 here. So it did change in Gen 7. Okay. Alright, but yeah, Volcanion dies, but all Clef needs to do is just Calm Mind and win, and that's pretty much GG. He'd have to go for a crit right now. If he gets it, but no crit, and that's pretty much GG. He can soft will to try and, max out the crit chances or max out the chances of no crit. But yeah, that's pretty much game. And Splash loses, Santu wins. Alright, so my thoughts about this game. I think it was pretty good, but okay, well, initially I thought that Splash had a better matchup. I did. I really did think he had a better matchup here. But Santu just played his mons very well. Like, again, he was able to really play. I mean, he was able to recognize the Clef was a major threat to him, or was a major threat to Splash, and he pretty much like committed to that. I do think that he played. I think Santu played it pretty safe though. I do. He really didn't get too risky with it, but definitely T-Wave did play a lot of factors into this though. Again, T-Waving the Volcanion was very, very big. Again, T-Waving a mon like that. T-Waving a mon like Volcanion definitely gives you a lot of momentum, because once that's gone, or once that's paralyzed, I mean, it's basically dead. Well, not basically dead, but you get what I mean. This mon just becomes a little bit more, doesn't become as useful. So yeah. Again, not much else to really say. Slowbro really went crazy though. Like the regen core definitely was helping out Santu quite a bit. But yeah. Again, it was a really fun game to watch, and I hope you all enjoy my reactions to it and whatnot. I'm going to try and do some more tour game reactions and, just give my thoughts and whatnot on the games. But yeah, this is actually fun to watch. I enjoy watching both these games. These were pretty fun. I definitely think I like this game more than the other one, though. But yeah, Clef just ends the game with Calm Mind Sweep. Or, well, not Calm Mind Sweep, but just, like, Calm Minding up and just pretty much putting it down. But yeah, Spadef Clef. I don't remember seeing Spadef Clef that much back in ORAS when I was playing it more like for tournaments and whatnot. I feel like for me, I've seen more defensive variants more than Spadef. So I wonder why they're choosing to be more Spadef in this. I mean, it could just be like a team building thing just for this game. It could be that way, or the metagame did change to where Clef is more specially oriented, which I mean would make some sense since you want to deal with stuff like Keldeo, and Latios still. Which I don't even know. I haven't even seen Latios here, which is interesting too. And again, Mega Latios is also another weird one too, because back in ORAS, you didn't really see Mega Latios like that, or even Mega Latios. So, just kind of interesting. I do think Mega Latios is way better defensively, as like a defogger and whatnot, compared to what Latios can do, or what Latios did, which if I recall, I think it was like a Scarf set that was ran quite a bit too. Back then, it was like Scarf, and I think even some defensive sets were ran too. But yeah, Mega Latios is just better at that, so I understand why that mon has usage here. Makes sense. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be that. You know, just giving my thoughts about the metagame and whatnot, and just watching how these games went because these games were pretty fun. But but yeah, again, if y'all want to see some more reactions to some more tour games and whatnot, for SPL and maybe even some other tours, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for some more Pokemon tournament content and reviews and reactions to some tour games and whatnot. Gonna be doing more of these as SPL is still going on. And I'll try and just shift between different tiers as much as I can, or shift between different gens as much as I can. I wanted to do Gen 6 because it's been a while since I actually covered anything Gen 6 related. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord, the Bushido Gang, and subscribe for some more content on the channel. And that's gonna be that. Be safe, wash your hands, and peace out.